Reason for refusal of Australian student visa. Part 1. Today's video update is part 1 of our two-part series about the reasons behind the refusal of student visas for Australia. The Government of Home Affairs could decide to refuse to grant student visas to international students if they don't meet the requirements of the course they are going to study, or haven't provided the required documents at the time of lodgement. The grant rate of student visas in the last quarter of 2021 was 90.9%. It means every 1 out of 10 international students was refused the grant of a student visa to study in Australia. However, in the vocational education and training sectors, the grant rate for international students was comparatively lower, less than even 70%. During the first half of the 2021 to 2022 program year, among the top 15 citizenship countries, visa grants were increased up to 14.3% for Vietnam and 7.0% for Indonesia. Out of the total number of student visas granted, around 23.2% were granted to the nationals of China, followed by 18.6% to the nationals of India. What are the key reasons behind the refusal of student visas? The main reasons for student visas getting rejected are as follows. Intentions for the temporary stay in Australia. Financial stability. Registration of course. Genuine intentions for the temporary stay in Australia, GTE. The Department of Home Affairs should be satisfied with your genuine reason for staying temporarily in Australia and your acceptance of considering the following visa conditions. The situation or circumstances in your country. DOHA will investigate your reason for coming to Australia to study rather than choosing to study in your own home country. Factors related to your economy and all kinds of interpersonal relationships out there in your home country will also be considered a top priority. Also, any kind of military commitment services, or political or civil unrest in your home country, will be examined too during the process to grant your student visa. Your potential condition in Australia. The department will assess the incentives that you would hold to stay in Australia. For example, connections with family and the community, your knowledge about the course you will be studying in and the understanding of the way of life in Australia. Worth of your course in future. You will be required to show that the course you're undertaking is compatible with your current education level. Also, your planned course of study is consistent with your former education. Your previous studies. Your previous study and educational experience will also be one of the main factors in considering the grant of a student visa, as DOHA will look for the benefits and compensation the country will be getting in return as a result of obtaining a renowned qualification from Australia. Your history of immigration. Your history of immigration will also be considered by DOHA, including any kind of visa refusals or cancellations in the past. The department would also assess if you have an ongoing residence in Australia with a series of inexpensive and short courses, or even if you have been there without completing your education successfully. Financial stability. If you are willing to apply for a student visa to study in Australia, it is important to be financially stable. You must have enough money and resources to pay your course fee and be able to bear the travel and living expenses. Registration of course. It is necessary to mention your current confirmation of enrollment for each of the study courses along with your visa application for a student visa. However, other attached evidence that can be used during your visa application enrollment includes your AASES form for secondary exchange students, a support letter from DFAT or Defence with the details regarding your intended course to study, postgraduate letter of your thesis marking issued by a relevant certified Australian education provider. Our video update for today ends here. Hit the like button and stay tuned for part 2 of today's video. Thanks for watching.